All right, the last video for week 3 is talking about triangle proofs. Now this concept can be simple if you're very logical and you follow steps well. One of the things to remember are the 5 shortcuts. It's 3 pieces to each shortcut for proving that triangles are congruent. Side, side, side congruency, side, angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side, and then HL, which is only used for right triangles when you get that ASS. Oh. For our first problem, are they congruent? So we want to look at things that are the same. This is 6 and this is 6, so they're congruent. They are the same. This is 4.5 and this is 4.5. They're congruent. They are the same. And then this is 7.5 and this is 7.5. So let's see what it is that we have in common. We have a side, and a side. So this would be yes, using SSS congruency theorem. That proves that they're the same. Now, we're going to talk about making a flow chart to prove this. So what are the pieces that we did? You notice how we use that the 6 first? Okay, and I'm actually going to color coordinate this for you guys. So we had an orange piece that we proved was congruent. We had a pink piece that we proved was congruent, and we had a yellow piece that we proved was congruent. Okay, and what was it in this orange piece? We proved that AB is congruent to FD. And how do we know that? Well, it was given, right? So it was given in the picture, so we're going to call it as given. Okay, in the pink piece, we showed that BC was congruent to, now see how we have AB and I went FD. I started between the pink, or the orange and the yellow. A is between the orange and the yellow, F is between the orange and the yellow. So I had the letters line up. So now when I go down to BC, BC is across the pink, so I have to go the same order. DF, or is that an E? Sorry, DE. Okay, there's just a bell. Now you feel like you're in school. And then our yellow piece was CA. CA is congruent to EF. EF. And how do we know those were congruent? I'm sorry, they were all given to us. Given. That's going to be a very useful piece of information because I didn't have to calculate anything. I didn't have to prove anything. I was just told that those lengths were the same as the other. So because I was given all that information, I'm actually allowed to show you that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABC. So I started here and I went down the orange across the pink. So F down the orange across the pink, FDE. FDE. Okay, so these pieces all came together to tell me that those triangles were congruent. And then what was the reason? Well, we found it up here, SSS. So just like I said, the reason I can say those are congruent or given. The reason I can say that is congruent, given. I put my reason underneath SSS congruence property. Okay, if you just wrote the congruence, I'd be totally fine with that. So let's look at our next one. Whoa, the lights just went out in my room. And so it changed the mood of this recording. Let me turn the lights on. I need movement in my classroom, but they won't come on. Okay, all of that for fun. I can't get the lights to come back on. So make a flow chart. Let's make a flow chart here. So we're going to look at this and see what it is that we have in common. Well, the first thing I notice is that this 6 is the same as that 6. That's really, really nice. Then I can see that this angle here, the 120, is the same as this angle here. And I need another piece of information. Well, let's notice that. Okay, so there's nothing written for me. Let me see. I need another piece of information. Let's write down what we have. So I have a piece in orange. You can all do it in your pen. I'm doing it in color to kind of help you see what matches with what. So do you see how PQ is congruent? I started at the 120, so I have to start at the 120. TS is congruent to TS. That was given. I know that angle P is congruent to angle T. They're both 120. That was given. So let's see, I have a side and an angle. Okay, I'm marking my text. I'm marking my picture. And I need another piece of information. Let's see if we can find a piece in yellow. Oh, yellow's not very good with the lighting the way it is. I'll do it in blue. Okay, let's find another piece of information. Okay, so look at this picture. What other types of angles do we know? Well, we know that this angle here and this angle here, right? They make the V, right? There's a V here and then a V there. So those are vertical angles. So I can say, because I can say the reason is a vertical angle. Vertical angles are congruent, right? So what is this angle? I can't just say angle R, because it might be going to be talking about this side or this side. But I can say TRS, angle TRS is congruent. I started with the T, so I have to come over here to this A, ARQ, that those are congruent. All right? So we know that they're vertical angles. So let's see. So now I have side, angle, right? This is an angle. So we usually don't go side, angle, angle. We do angle, angle, side. We can prove that the two triangles are congruent because of angle, angle, side congruency property, right? But I have to say what those triangles are. So triangle PQR is congruent to triangle. Now P is the 120, so when I go to this triangle, I have to start with the 120. P to Q, I went across the orange, so I have to go T to S across the orange. TSR. And notice R's are both last, and then the two angles that have R as the vertex are congruent. So this is a way, these three things all come together to show our thinking. All right, let's do one more on this page right here. Let's look at this problem here. Okay. What do we have? We have this angle is congruent to this angle. Okay, so let me just let's go ahead and write that first piece of information. We have angle D is congruent to angle B. Now, because angle D does not create another angle, it's not going off, and I'm not talking about some angle here or over here. I only have to say D, whereas the previous problem I had to put all three letters. Okay. Let's see, what else do I notice? I notice that this piece right here is used for that triangle and for that triangle. So I can give a reason for that. I can say that AC is congruent to AC. Oh, I never gave the reason for this one. These two are congruent because it's given. It's when the arc mark is written for you, it's given. AC, no mark was given for this. But I can use the reflexive property. Remember we talked about the reflexive property? When you're looking in a mirror, this is the same piece that's used on this side as it's used on that side. Okay, well I need another piece of information. What can we use? Let's see. Well, the thing that's marked for us here is this line is parallel to this line, and I see my transversal, right? This is the transversal. It goes all the way through, and we can go, oh, look at this angle here, okay, is inside the parallel lines, and if I go across or alternate across that line, I can use this one. So this angle is congruent to that angle. So I'm going to do this last one right here. What is this angle? Now A, because A could talk about this angle or this angle, I have to use the three letters. So BAC, angle BAC is congruent to angle. I started with the blue and went to the A, so I'm going to start with the blue and go to the C. DCA. DCA. And why is that? What's the reason? It's not given. I had to actually find it. And we used inside the parallel lines, but alternating across. So this is alternate interior angles. Okay? And let's see, what does that do? Let's label our triangles. Let's see, we have an angle, and a side. And when I mark my triangle, I only have to write on one triangle. I don't have to write on both. So I see that I have my triangles are going to be congruent because of angle, angle, side congruency property. And these three pieces come together to tell me that one triangle is congruent to another triangle. But what is the name of that triangle? Okay, how about if we go ABC? ABC, triangle ABC is congruent to, now I started with this angle here, angle A up here is congruent to the C. I went across the yellow, so CDA, CDA. I have to have the letters in the right order. All right, now we're not going to do these two because there's not enough information. This is actually goes to similar triangles and not congruent triangles. So I'm just going to stop right here with this one. We're not going to do these two. But that is kind of the end of the packet. So you really want to check out your Delta Math for this, and then make sure you finish the previous page that I left some problems for you on, page 18. Hope this week is going great for you guys, and I will see you on Zoom.